based framework. It is free and open. We are talking about what is the Spring framework and what are the modules available in the Spring framework. Spring is called as Java based framework, and Spring is free framework, and Spring is open source framework. Okay. Spring is loosely coupled. What is the meaning of loosely coupled, guys? What is the meaning of loosely coupled? In the Spring framework, there are several modules available, and all those modules are loosely coupled. Spring is developed in modular fashion. It is developed in modular fashion. What is the meaning of a modular fashion? What is the meaning of a modular fashion, guys? There are several modules available in the Spring framework, and all the modules are loosely coupled. We have below modules in the Spring framework. What are the modules available? Can anyone tell me what are the modules available in the Spring framework? What is the most important module in the Spring framework? That is Spring core module. Spring core module is called as base module of the Spring framework. And the next one, we are having Spring data JPA is available. And I mean to say Spring core is available, Spring context is available, and we are having Spring DAO module. We are having Spring ORM module, Spring core, Spring context, Spring DAO, Spring ORM is available, and we can say Spring AOP is available, and we can say Spring WebMVC is available. Spring WebMVC module is available, and now there are several modules introduced. Spring REST module is available, Spring security module is available, Spring cloud module is available, Spring batch module is available, Spring cloud, Spring batch, etc. Like this, there are 20 plus modules available in the Spring framework, and all these modules are loosely coupled. All these modules are loosely coupled. So Spring is not forcing to use all the modules in one project. It is loosely coupled. Whatever the module is required for your project, you take that module and you use that module in your project. There is no rule that we have to use all the modules available in the Spring framework. Let's understand what is the purpose of each module available in the Spring framework. The first one is core module. First one is core module. This is called base module of the Spring framework. Core module is called base module of Spring framework. If you want to learn any module in the Spring, if you want to work with any module in the Spring, the first thing that we need to learn is called core module. So that's why it is called base module. It is providing fundamental concepts of the framework. Providing fundamentals of framework. What are the fundamentals of the Spring framework available? One is IOC container. One is IOC container. Second one is dependency injection. And the third one is auto wiring. Auto wiring. IOC container is available, dependency injection is available, auto wiring is available. Without these three concepts, there is no use of Spring framework. The fundamental concepts of the Spring: IOC container, dependency injection, and auto wiring. And the next one, we have a module called Spring context module. Spring context module will deal with the configurations required in our application. Okay, provides support to manage configurations in our application. So in the Spring project, I no need to create the object for the classes. Object creations, object management will be taken care by IOC container. As discussed yesterday, in one project, multiple classes will be available. Controller classes will be available. Service classes will be available. DAO classes also will be available. One class should talk to another class. Instead of we are creating the object for the class, we need to use this Spring context module. Okay, so in this context module, it is going to provide support to deal with the configurations, provides support for configurations required for application. So some configuration files we need to create in the application. So many classes will be available. Which classes should be managed by IOC container? Which class object IOC should create? Which class object IOC has to inject? All these things will be taken care by IOC container and dependency injection. IOC container will manage our classes. To manage the classes, we need to provide some configuration as the input for the IOC container. That configuration we will manage by using a module called Spring Context Module. And the next one, there is a module called Spring DAO module is available. It is used for database connectivity. If you want to communicate with the database from your Spring application, then we can go for DAO module. DAO stands for Data Access Object. Okay, it is used to communicate with the database. It is used to communicate with the database. Sir, already we know JDBC, which is also used to communicate with the database only. Then why we need to go for Spring DAO? Spring DAO will provide here whatever the DAO module is available. Spring DAO module providing predefined classes, to simplify database communication logic, to simplify DAO layer development. Earlier in the JDBC, we need to write some common steps. Load the driver, get the connection, create the query, execute the query. But when you go for Spring DAO, you no need to deal with the driver, you no need to deal with the connection, you no need to write the statement. Directly you can execute the query by using the DAO. Common logics will be provided by Spring DAO. You focus only on your query preparation. That's why we are going to use DAO module. So here our Java application will communicate with the Spring DAO module. Spring DAO module will communicate with the JDBC. JDBC will communicate with the database. Earlier, our application will communicate with the JDBC directly, then JDBC will communicate with the database. If I use JDBC directly, what is the problem? We need to write common logics and we need to write the business logic also. So many lines of code we need to write. It will take a lot of time. So to simplify our development, instead of communicating with the JDBC directly, we are going to communicate with the Spring DAO. Spring DAO will provide some predefined classes for us. So when I say example, there is a class called JDBC template class available in the DAO. I will take the JDBC template dot execute. Then I will pass my query as an input. That's it. If you write that one line of code, it will execute that query in the database. You no need to write the logic for the driver loading. No need to write the logic for connection creation. No need to write the logic for statement creation. You just need to call one method which is available in the JDBC template. JDBC template is a predefined class which is provided by Spring DAO module. Are you guys able to follow me? Spring DAO module is responsible to communicate with the database. We can communicate with database using JDBC also, but that is outdated approach. We can go with the Spring DAO module example. JDBC template is a predefined class. If you call one method, it will take care of the common logics and it will execute our query in the database. Okay. So if you want to develop database communication in your application, then you can go for Spring DAO module. And the next one, there is a module available which is called Spring ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. What is the meaning of ORM, guys? ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. What is the purpose of the ORM? ORM is used to perform DB operations using objects. Okay. In the JDBC, what we will do? We will write a insert query. to insert the record. And whenever you retrieve the data from the database, you will get the data in the form of result set object. So the data will be represented in the form of text format when you go for JDBC or when you go for a DAO. But I want to represent the data in the form of object. I have an employee object. I want to insert it. You no need to write insert into values, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. You can directly call like this. Suppose if you have hibernate dot save of employee object. Okay, I can insert the record by using object. I can retrieve the records by using objects. So the records in the database, whatever the table we have, whatever the data is available in the table, that data we can represent it directly by using object format. You no need to write insert query. You no need to write result. You no need to deal with the result set object. So the data can be represented in the form of object. For that purpose, we are going to use ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. Earlier, we used to communicate with the database by using Hibernate framework directly. But today, if you want to use the Hibernate, you no need to write the Hibernate logic directly. My Java application will communicate with the Spring ORM. Spring ORM will communicate with the Hibernate. Hibernate will communicate with the JDBC. Then finally, JDBC will communicate with the database. That means a layer is coming. A layer is coming. Earlier, we used to communicate with the database directly. Then Hibernate came into picture. Our application will communicate with the Hibernate. Hibernate will communicate with the JDBC. Instead of communicating with the Hibernate directly, we are going to use a concept called Spring ORM. ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. What is the purpose of that ORM? To represent the data in the form of object and communicate with the database. So I want to insert one record. You give the object to the ORM. Object will be converted to insert query and it will execute that query in the database. You no need to write the queries here. You no need to write insert query. You no need to write a select query here. Everything will be represented in the form of objects only. In the real time, in every project, we will develop our persistence layer by using ORM module, Spring ORM module. So earlier, we used it to work with the Spring ORM. Now currently we are going for Spring Data JPA. We are using Spring Data JPA. Spring ORM is available. On top of the Spring ORM, Data JPA came into picture. Our application will communicate with the Data JPA. Data JPA will communicate with the ORM. ORM will communicate with the Hibernate. Hibernate will communicate with the JDBC. JDBC will communicate with the database. So in the project, we are going to develop the logic like this. In the project, we are going to develop the logic like this. In every project, database will be available. Our application should perform the operations in the database. So instead of using Hibernate, instead of using Spring ORM, we are going to use a top level module which is called Data JPA. Why we are going for Data JPA? No need to write the queries. Earlier, if you go for Spring DAO, you should write the query and you need to execute it. When you go for Data JPA, you no need to write the queries also. Queries also JPA will take care. As I told you, one line of code if you write, you can perform all the CRUD operations in the table. Insert, update, delete, retrieve. If you just write one line of code, you can perform all the operations in the database table. So if you go for JDBC, 100 lines of code you need to write. If you go for a Hibernate, 30 lines of code you need to write. If you go for a Data JPA, 1 line of code you need to write. With 1 line of code, I can insert the record, I can update the record, delete the record, retrieve the record in the form of objects. All the operations I will perform by using objects. So in the real-time project, people are using Data JPA. So our application will communicate with the Data JPA. Data JPA will communicate with the Spring ORM. Spring ORM will communicate with the Hibernate. Hibernate will communicate with the JDBC. JDBC will communicate with the database to perform the operations. Are you able to follow me? What is the difference between Spring DAO and Spring ORM? Both are used to communicate with the database only. Both are used to develop the DAO layer only. Then what is the difference between Spring DAO and Spring ORM? Can anyone tell me what is the difference between Spring DAO and Spring ORM? DAO will represent the data in the text format. ORM will represent the data in the object format. Are you able to follow me? By using DAO, we will communicate with the database. By using ORM, we will communicate with the database only. For same operation, two modules available. Spring DAO module, Spring ORM module. What is the difference between these two modules? What is the difference between these two modules? Remember, note. Spring DAO and Spring ORM modules are used for database connectivity only. They are used for database connectivity only. But what is the difference? Spring DAO, whatever the Spring DAO represents data in the text format. Employee ID, employee name, employee salary. But same operation, if I perform by using ORM, it will represents data in objects format. You can save one object, you can delete one object, you can retrieve one object, you can retrieve group of objects. So all the operations we will perform in the form of object when you go for ORM. Are you able to follow me? So what are the modules available? Spring, come on. What are the modules available? How many modules available in the Spring? So many modules available. 20 plus modules available in the Spring framework. What are those? Core module, context module, DAO module, ORM module, WebMVC module, AOP module, REST module, security module, cloud module, batch module, social module. Like this, there are so many modules available. All these modules are loosely coupled. Is there any rule I have to use all the modules in the project? No. So whatever is required for your project, you take that module and you use that module. So that's why Spring is called as Spring Core module is called as a base module. Spring Core module is called as a base module, and that is providing fundamental concepts of the Spring framework. Okay. What are the fundamental concepts of the Spring framework? IOC container, dependency injection, and auto wiring. What is the purpose of context module? That will provide the support for configurations required for the application. What is the purpose of DAO module? DAO stands for Data Access Object. What is the purpose of that? It is used to communicate with the database. That Spring DAO module providing some classes to perform the database operations. Common logics they will provide. You focus only on the business logic. Okay, fine. Next one, Spring ORM is available. What is the purpose of Spring ORM? ORM stands for Object Relational Mapping. It is used to perform database operations in the form of objects. Okay. What is the advanced version for the ORM now? Data JPA. Our project will communicate with the data JPA. It will communicate with the ORM. It will communicate with the Hibernate. Then JDBC. Finally, database. Okay. What is the difference between DAO modules and ORM module, guys? What is the difference between DAO module and ORM module? DAO module will represent the data in the text format, whereas ORM module will represent the data in the objects format. Are you clear? Any questions so far? No. Online people able to follow me? Please respond in the chat box. Are you able to follow me? Online students, are you with me or sleeping? Good. Next one, there is a module called Spring Web MVC module is available. There is a module called Spring Web MVC module is available. MVC stands for Model View Controller. Okay, MVC means Model View Controller. Model View and Controller. It is a pattern to develop our application with the layered architecture. MVC is used to develop the application with the layered architecture. Okay, Spring Web MVC. This module is used to develop web applications using Spring Framework. I want to develop a web application. In the web application, controllers will be available. Controller nothing but which like a servlet, which will take the request and which will provide the response. So if you want to develop a web application, then we are going to use this Spring Web MVC module. Web MVC module, this supports for JSP and TimeLeaf as presentation technologies. Okay, when you are developing a web application, user interface is also required. Web application nothing but customer to business. Web applications are used for customer will communicate with our business application. Customer will communicate with the application directly, which is called C2B. Facebook is available. Directly you will go and use the Facebook application. You are a customer to the Facebook application. Facebook application having some user interface, some business logic available, data access logic available, database is also available. So when you want to develop such kind of web applications by using Spring Framework, then we are going to use a module called Web MVC module. When you go for the Web MVC module, it will support for presentation technologies also, which are JSP and TimeLeaf. So currently, are we using JSP TimeLeaf for the presentation? No. So note, JSP and TimeLeaf are outdated. JSP and TimeLeaf are outdated. People are not using them. If you want to develop a web application, then you need to go for Web MVC module. Okay. In the Web MVC module, you can build a customer to business application. You can develop the presentation also by using Web MVC because Web MVC will support for JSP and TimeLeaf as presentation technologies, but they are outdated. Currently, people are not using JSP TimeLeaf for the UI. UI will be developed as a separate project by using Angular or React. Then what is the use of Web MVC? For controllers development. Okay, if the request is coming from the Angular, in the Spring application, controller should take the request, controller should give the response. So to develop controllers in the web application, we are going to use this Web MVC module. Are you able to follow this? What is the purpose of Web MVC? This Web MVC module internally uses servlets concept. What is the meaning of servlets? Servlet is a technology. Why we will use servlets in the Java? What is the purpose of servlets in the Java? To develop a web application. Servlet is a JWE technology which is used to develop a web application. If you go for servlet, you can develop a project, but lot of code you need to write in the servlet. So to reduce that number of lines of code, we are going to develop the controllers by using Web MVC. Web MVC module internally will use servlets only. Are you getting my point? So this Spring Web MVC used to develop the web application, and this Web MVC internally using servlets concept only to develop the web application. So without having the knowledge on the servlet, you can't understand the Web MVC. At least a basic idea. What is a servlet? What is HTTP servlet? What is a do get method? What is a do post method? What is a request dispatcher? What is a session management? What is session object? That basic idea if you have, then easily you can understand Spring Web MVC module and you can develop web application by using Spring Framework. Are you able to follow me? Good. So after this Web MVC module, there is another module called Spring REST module is available. There is another module called REST module is available. REST is used to develop distributed application. It is used to develop REST APIs. It is used to develop REST APIs, nothing but web services. I want to develop REST API. Today, every project is developing based on REST APIs only. Front-end application will be available, back-end REST APIs will be available. So REST API nothing but distributed application. REST API means distributed application. REST API means distributed application. What is the meaning of distributed application? If one application is communicating with the another application, then that is called as distributed application. If one application is communicating with the another application, then it is called as distributed application. Are you guys able to follow me? Yes. So what is the purpose of Spring REST module? What is the purpose of Spring REST module? Spring REST module used to develop the REST APIs, nothing but web services. What is the meaning of REST API? Distributed application. What is the meaning of distributed application? If one application is communicating with another application, if one application is communicating with another application, then it is called as distributed application. Okay, for example, our passport application will communicate with the Aadhaar application. Passport application is communicating with the Aadhaar application, and our Google Pay application, GPay application communicating with the bank applications. Bank application. My amount is there in the SBI bank. I'm transferring that money to your Google Pay account. I'm using Google Pay. Using Google Pay, I'm transferring the money from my bank account. That means Google Pay communicating with the bank application. One project is communicating with the another project. In the today's market, 99% of the projects are REST APIs only. So if you want to develop a full stack application, front-end application is Angular, back-end is REST API. Angular will communicate with the REST API. REST API developed based on Java. Java application will communicate with the Python application. Google Pay developed by using which technology? Android, iOS apps, mobile apps are available. Our bank application developed by using Java. This Android application communicating with the Java application. Android application communicating with the Python application. One project is communicating with the another project. If one project is communicating with the another project, those projects are called as distributed projects. Those are also called as microservices. To develop those microservices, we need to know REST API development. To develop the REST APIs, Spring REST module we have to learn. Are you clear with my point? What is the difference between Spring Web MVC and Spring REST? What is the difference between Spring Web MVC and Spring REST, guys? Web MVC is used to develop customer to business application. With the user interface, application will be developed. When I go for REST, UI will not be available. It is completely back-end application. UI will be separate, back-end will be separate. Front-end is separate application, back-end is separate application. How front-end will communicate with the back-end? JSON. So if one project want to communicate with now, Google Pay communicating with the bank application. How Google Pay will communicate with the bank application? JSON only. JSON is a mediator between two applications. Okay, good. Next one, there is a module called Spring Security module is available. For every application, security is mandatory. For every application, security is mandatory. So this module provides mainly two functionalities, guys. It is used to implement security in our applications. Whatever the application you develop, whether it is a web application or whether it is a REST API, security is required. So to implement security in the project, we are going to use one module called Spring Security module. Spring Security provides two important functionalities for us. Okay, it provides below functionalities. It provides below functionalities. One is called authentication, another one is authorization. When you go for Spring Boot security module to implement a security for the project, that is going to provide two important functionalities for us. One is called authentication, another one is called authorization. Authentication will be available, authorization will be available. Authentication means who can log in. Who can log in? It is going to check whether your credentials are valid or not. Authorization means what they can access. Once you log in our application, what functionalities you can access. Basically, role-based access will be available. Okay. If I log in into Ashok IT website, I will be logged in as a trainer. I have the option to upload the notes. But when you log in into Ashok IT website, you can access only the notes which I have uploaded. Your role is different. My role is different. In the Ashok IT website, my role is a trainer. Your role is a student. As a trainer, I can upload the notes. As a student, you can download the notes. So if you try to upload the notes, my application will not accept. As a student, you should not upload the notes. Okay. So such kind of role-based permissions we can implement by using authorization concept. So when you are going to implement security in the project, two important things will be available. One is called authentication. Second one is called authorization. What is the meaning of authentication and authorization? Who can log in and what they can access. Who can log in, what they can access. That logic can be implemented by using Spring Boot security module in the project. Are you able to follow me? Yes. Next one. There is another module which is called Spring Cloud module is available. There is a module called Spring Cloud module is available. This cloud module provides the resources to develop microservice based application. Okay, so it provides resources to develop microservices based applications. So when I'm going for microservices, there is a concept called discovery server. You will not understand that today, guys. Just I'm giving the names. Discovery server will be available. API gateway will be available. Discovery server, API gateway, circuit breaker. Okay. So config server, etc. When we are going to develop our application by using microservices, some resources are required. Discovery server, API gateway, circuit breaker, config server, etc. All these kind of resources will be provided by Spring Cloud module. That means if you want to develop a microservices based application, you need to use Spring Cloud module. Whatever the REST APIs available, we are going to develop the REST APIs in the backend. To manage those REST APIs, this is cloud resources we are going to use. They are available in the Spring Cloud module. Are you able to follow me? What is the purpose of Spring security? Come on. It is used to implement security in our application. What kind of functionalities we are getting from the security module? We are getting authentication and we are getting authorization. Authentication means who can log in. Authorization means what they can access. What is the purpose of Spring Cloud module? It provides the resources to develop microservices based applications. So what are the resources it will provide? Discovery server it will provide, API gateway it will provide, circuit breaker it will provide, config server also it is going to provide. Are you able to follow me? Next one. There is another module available which is called Spring Batch module. There is a module called Spring Batch module is available. Batch module. First of all, what is the meaning of batch? Group, bulk. Batch nothing but bulk available. Now, let's take a scenario. SBI bank is available. crores of customers available for the SBI. For every account holder, monthly statement should be generated. Account statement should be generated. So we are using the bank account. I'm doing a lot of transactions in the bank account, some credits available, some debits available in my account, and every month. So this is July. June month transaction statement I will get to my email as a PDF. Bank statement will be received to our email. So that bank statement, they need to send for every SBI account holder. How many account holders available in the SBI? Crores. Total India population 144, 150 crores available, India population. Out of this 150, at least 70 crore people have the bank accounts in the SBI. In the villages nowadays, due to these government schemes, everybody having a bank account. Our father, mother, our brothers, sister, and everyone having a bank account. So minimum to minimum, 70 crore people will have the accounts in the SBI. So every month, SBI should generate the account statement for 70 crore people. 70 crore PDFs should be generated. 70 crore PDFs should be sent to our email. That is called batch operation. Okay. If you generate the PDF statement one by one, how many days it will take? 70 crore records I have to process. So this is a real-time scenario, guys. Now, generally, what we are going to do, I need to develop the logic. I need to develop the logic to generate a bank statement. I need to develop the logic to generate a bank statement. Now here, I will write one method. Okay, generate statement PDF. This is one method. Inside this method, I will write some logic to generate the PDF. Okay, and I will write one more method, send PDF to email. Send PDF to email, logic to send. There are two methods available. One method is used to generate the PDF, another method to send the PDF. Now, how many times these two methods should be executed for one customer? For one customer, I have to execute the two methods. I'm going to write one more method here, public void process statements. I'm going to write a method called process statements method. In this process statement methods, what I am going to do? DAO dot get accounts. Get accounts. It is going to give me list of accounts we are having in the database table. That list size is 70 crore records. How many accounts are available? 70 crore accounts are available. DAO.get accounts. I will get 70 crore accounts from the database table. Then what I will do? I will write a for loop. I will take each account from the list. I will take each account from the list and I'm going to call a method generate statement PDF. For one account, I will pass account object as a parameter. And after statement is generated, I will call one more method send PDF to email. Send PDF to email. So this is my requirement. Look at this. Just pseudo logic I have written, dummy logic I have written to get the clarity. So my requirement is I want to generate account statement for all the account holders in the SBI. SBI is India Bank. All the Indians, almost in every family, minimum to minimum 2 to 3 accounts will be there in the SBI. Yes or no? Minimum to minimum 2 to 3 people will have the accounts in the SBI. So total in the India, 150 crores population is available. Okay. So everybody, I'm taking at least of 70 crore people I'm taking. 70 crore records available in the SBI. And these 70 crore people, so many times they are using the bank account to withdraw the money, to deposit the money, to transfer the money. So many transactions are happening. Okay. On an average, for every account, minimum 5 transactions will happen. At least 2 transactions in every account. So how many records will be there? 70 crores multiplied by 2. 140 crore transactions will happen in the database. And for every account, I have to generate a statement. What is the logic I will write? First, I am going to get all the accounts which are available in the table. list of accounts I'm going to get. Every account I am processing by using a for loop. Get one account, generate the statement with the transaction, send the statement to the customer email ID. Then take the second account, again generate the PDF, send to the customer email. Then take the third account, generate the PDF, send to email. Repeat, repeat, repeat. This loop will execute for 70 crore times. How many days it will take? For example, for one record, it is taking 1 second. To generate one PDF, to send the PDF to customer, it is taking 1 second of time. For example, if I take 1 second, for 1 minute, 60. For 1 hour, 3600. In 1 day, into 24. 3600 multiplied by 24. We are weak in maths. So per hour, per second, one record can process. So when you go for 1 minute, 1 minute multiplied by 60, what will happen? 60 records I can process. 60 statements I can send in 1 minute. Multiplied by 60, 1 hour. How many records? 3600 statements I can send in 1 hour. Multiplied by 24. Multiplied by 24. How many statements I can send? 86,400 statements I can send in 1 day. 24 hours. If a program is running, then I can send for 86,000 only. How many records available in the database? When our token will come? When our token will come? After 1 year. Suppose 86,000 per day multiplied by 30 days. How many? 25 lakhs only. If you run your program 30 days non-stop, how many statements you can send? 25,000 multiplied by 12 months. How many statements we are processing? For 1 year, non-stop if you run the program, how many statements you will send? 3 crores. Okay, but how many crores available? That means 2023 January statement I will get in the 2026 January. Is it accepted? Is it accepted? Modi will agree. No. Why? When you need to get the statement? When you should get the bank account statement? June month statement, I will get in the July first week only. Yes or no? July statement, I will get in the August first week only. Are you getting last year statement this year? No. Within 1 week only, we have to send the statement. Okay. Now you understand what is the problem. Did anybody explain to you this kind of scenario in your training? No. That is what I told you. This 3 months of training is a game changer for you. Okay. All these scenarios I have faced in my career. I struggled with all these scenarios in my company. Tomorrow when you go for the interview, they will ask one question. What are the challenges you have faced in the project? This is one of the challenge I have faced in my project. I am working for banking company from last 6 years. We have implemented the logic like this. My bank, I am dealing with credit card functionality. Credit card bill I have to generate. Whatever the logic I have implemented, customer will receive the credit card bill after 4 months. January month bill he is getting in the May or June. Will anybody accept it? Will anybody accept it? When you should get the credit card bill? Every month. Every month. When you should get the account statement? Every month. This is the challenging thing for me in the industry. I struggled to implement this task. So, is there anything wrong in the logic I am doing? Is there anything wrong in logic is correct? Logic is correct. Performance is worst. Yes or no? Logic is correct. Approach is correct. I have to take the accounts. I have to generate the statement. PDF is created. PDF is going to the customer in the email. Okay. But time complexity. Time complexity. How much time it is taking to send the statement to the customer? That is the problem. That is the problem. If I develop the logic like this, if I tell to the boss, I am very good developer, there is no exception in the program. Program is executing successfully. You can use this program. But program will take 1 year time to send all the statements. Will any client accept it? Will any client accept it? No. Maximum within 2 hours. within 3 hours, I should complete the statement generation for all the accounts. That is the logic we need to write. That is the logic we need to write. So that's where multi-threading comes into picture. Everybody in the Amirpet, as part of core Java, will learn multi-threading. Faculty also will teach you multi-threading. But nobody will tell you where to use that multi-threading in the project. If I ask anybody, what is multi-threading? Parallel processing, thread class, runnable interfaces, start method, run method, everybody will tell theoretically. If I ask a question, where to use that multi-threading? People will say, sir, in the game application, we will use multi-threading. Why we need multi-threading in the game? In this scenario, we will use multi-threading. I need to process multiple records parallelly. I need to process multiple records parallelly. To process multiple records parallelly, we will go for multi-threading. So here, currently, for one day, we are processing how many records, guys? For one day, we are processing 86,000. Per hour, how many records we are processing? By implementing multi-threading, 1 crore records I can process in 1 hour. Are you getting my point? And I can process 10 crore records, 1 crore records also, 10 crore records I can process in 1 hour by using multi-threading, by implementing parallel processing. In every project, this kind of requirement will be available. This requirement is called as batch operation. Batch means bulk operation. Continuously, I need to process the data. What is the processing here? Take the account number, check the transactions, prepare a PDF, send the PDF to email. Then take the second account, check the transaction, prepare the PDF, send it. Repeat for every account. That is called batch operation. So if I develop that batch logic like this, client will accept this logic or will not accept this logic? Will not accept. Why it will not accept it? Time complexity. Per one day, non-stop 24 hours if you run the program. 24 hours non-stop if you run the program. How many records you are processing? 86,000 only. How can you process 70 crore records? How many days you need? 1 year if I run, how many records I am processing? 25 lakhs only. Are you getting my point? So that's where in the Spring framework, there is a concept called Spring batch concept is available. So this batch concept, if I implement, all the 70 crore records I can process in 1 hour. That bulk operation we can implement in the project by using a module called Spring Batch module. Batch is used for bulk operation. In every project, bulk operation will be available. Account statement, credit card bill statement, postpaid bill statement, sending a bulk message, sending a bulk email, sending a job alert to, now suppose Naukri database is available. How many people have accounts in the Naukri website? Can you imagine? 2 to 3 crore people will be available in the Naukri. They will tell you the number also. Let me check it. Naukri.com. Okay. 5 lakh plus jobs available. Java 12,600 new jobs. Spring Boot 2 new jobs available. They will tell you how many records available in the database. Naukri employer login. When I go for employer login, Naukri recruitment, they will tell the number. How many records? 10 crore people are looking for the jobs in the Naukri. 10 crore people looking for jobs in the Naukri. So 10 crore customers are available for the Naukri. Now, Naukri want to send a message to all those customers. Naukri want to send an email to all the customers. Naukri want to send a message to all the customers. How much time? Do you think that they will spend 1 month to send a message? Within 1 hour, they will send a message because they will go for batch operation. So if you want to implement such kind of batch operation, we can use a module called Spring Batch module. Batch, it is used to implement batch processing. It is used to implement batch processing. Batch processing is nothing but bulk operation. Batch processing is nothing but bulk operation. What is the example use cases, real-time use cases? What are the use cases we have discussed? Bank account statement generation. Bank account statement generation. Credit card bill generation. So many people will have the credit cards. For those people, bill should be generated. So many people are using postpaid mobiles. Postpaid mobile bill generation. Postpaid mobile bill generations. Like this. So many requirements will be available in the real time where we need to implement our batch processing. For that, we are going to use our Spring Batch module. Able to follow me? Yes. So what is the difference between normal implementation and batch implementation? If you go for normal implementation, time complexity. It will take huge amount of time to complete our logic execution. To complete our task, it will take a lot of time, huge amount of time, which is not accepted by our clients. Okay. So I want to complete the processing very quickly. Within 1 hour, I should complete my task. I don't bother whether I have 1 million records, 1 crore records, 10 crore records. My task is within 1 hour, I have to complete that. So if you want to implement such a kind of requirements, we need to go for Spring Batch module. Are you able to follow this? Is it mandatory to use batch module in every project? If you have the requirement, then only you use it. If you don't have requirement, no need to use it. So that's why Spring is loosely coupled. Whatever is required for you, that only you use. The remaining modules you no need to use. Spring is loosely coupled framework and Spring is developed in modular fashion. Are you clear with me? Good. Next one, there is another module available which is called Spring AOP. What is the module available? AOP. Okay. AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. The full form for the AOP, AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. We have seen procedure oriented programming, object oriented programming, POP is available, OOP is available, now AOP is available. AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. Sir, what is the meaning of this aspect oriented programming? It is used to separate the main purpose of it. It is used to separate cross-cutting logics. Cross-cutting logics from business logic. In our application, business logic will be available, cross-cutting logics will be available. When I say cross-cutting logic, what is the meaning of that? Now, I'm writing a program. I'm developing a project. So now assume that in my project, I'm writing a save method. Inside the save method, I have business logic. Okay, business logic inside the save method. In the real time, only business logic is not sufficient. For this method, some security is required. For this method, transaction is required. For this method, some auditing also required. And for this method, exception handling also required. Yes or no? Mandatory. So in the real time, we are going to develop a method like this. Our method will contain security. Our method will contain transaction, auditing, business logic, exception handling logic also available. Similarly, I am going to develop one more method, update method. Okay. So when I go for update method, again same thing. I need security, I need a transaction, auditing, business logic, exception handling. I want to delete. I want to write a one more method called delete method. So what is the problem? in all the methods, some common logic is available. And tomorrow, I want to change my security algorithm. Then what I need to do? I need to change in all the places. So it is recommended or not recommended? This one is not recommended. Why this one is not recommended? Now, like I have taken only 3 methods. I have taken only 3 methods. In my project, I am having 1,000 methods like this. You imagine a project. So I am writing 1,000 methods in my project. In 1,000 methods, I am writing business logic and I am writing some common logics. So those are security, transaction, auditing, exception handling. So okay, fine. I have developed it. It is working. After 1 month, I got a requirement. We need to change the security algorithm in the project. To change the security algorithm in the project, one place change or 1,000 places changes are required. At 1,000 places, we need to make the changes. That is difficult and that is time taking. And if you change, again we have to test it whether it is working or not. Lot of time to change the code, lot of time to test the code. So that's why this approach is not recommended. This approach is not recommended. So whenever you are developing a method, your method should contain only business logic. Don't write the common logics in every method. If you write the common logics in every method, tomorrow if you want to change that common logic, it will take a lot of time. Only changes are not sufficient. After change, you need to test it also, whether all the 1,000 methods are working as expected or not. So that's why this approach is not recommended to develop. Okay. So whatever common logics are available in the project, those common logics are called cross-cutting logics. What is the meaning of that? Cross-cutting logics. What is the meaning of cross-cutting logic? The logics which are common for several methods in the project, those are called as cross-cutting logics. Able to follow me? Yes. Cross-cutting logics. Cross-cutting logics. Security, transaction, auditing, logging, etc. All these things comes under cross-cutting logic. So what we need to do in the real time? How we are going to handle this situation in the real time? So in the real time, all the cross-cutting logics we will develop separately. We don't write them inside our method. So here I will write security, I will write logging, I will write a transaction logics here, and I will write exceptions handling. Okay, all these things we are going to develop separately and we will use them in our methods. Now I have save method, now I have update method, and I have delete method. So for these 3 methods, I need the cross-cutting logics. Okay, all these methods will be used in the save, update, and delete. So am I writing the logics in every method? I'm writing the logics at one place and I'm reusing the logics. Reusing the logics. What is the advantage? Tomorrow if I want to change, how many places changes required? Changing at one place is easy. Changing at 1,000 places is easy. One place is easy. So if you want to develop application like this, we need to go for AOP module. AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. What is the purpose of the AOP? What is the purpose of AOP? Cross-cutting logics we will separate from the business logic. So a project contains business logic as well as cross-cutting logic. To separate business logics and cross-cutting logics, we are going to use AOP module. AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. Are you clear with my point? Good. And there is another module available in the Spring, which is called Spring Scheduler. There is another module available which is called Spring Scheduler. What is the meaning of scheduling? Automatic execution. Okay. Every day morning, 9 o'clock, I want to send a message to all my employees. Do you think that I will open WhatsApp, send a message one by one? No. I will write a program. I will schedule that program. So based on the schedule, it will execute automatically. Do you think that account statements, SBI bank account statements, SBI owner will send the emails for everybody? No. Do you think that SBI company MD, SBI owner will run the program to send the statement? No. They will configure a schedule. Every month, fifth day, the previous month statement should be generated. They will write a program. They will schedule the program. When they schedule the program, what will happen? Automatically, program will be executed based on the schedule. So if you want to implement such kind of schedules in the project, you can go for a module called Spring Scheduler module. Okay, it is used to schedule task execution. Task nothing but any program. I want to run one Java program every day morning at 6 o'clock. Every day morning at 6 o'clock, I want to run a program. At 6 o'clock, nobody there in the office, but my program should execute. For that, we are going to configure a scheduler. This is one concept or one module which is available in the Spring, which is called Spring Scheduler. Able to follow this? Yeah. So these are many things available in the Spring framework. Okay. So it depends on our requirement, which is required for our project. That one we can use and we can develop our project. Spring Core, Spring Context, DAO, ORM, AOP, WebMVC, REST, Security, Cloud, Batch, Scheduler, etc. There are so many other modules also available. Let me show you official website of the Spring, spring.io. Spring.io website is available. Why Spring Framework, microservices, reactive, event-driven, cloud, web applications, serverless applications, batch applications also available. Spring modules, Spring Boot, Spring Cloud, Spring Data, Spring Integration, Spring Batch, Spring Security, Spring Projects. What are the modules available? Those are called Spring Projects. Now you can see Spring Boot is available, Spring is available, Data available, Spring Data JPA, Cloud is available, Cloud Data Flow, Spring Security, Authorization, GraphQL, Spring Session, Spring Integration, Spring Hetios, Spring Modulith, Spring REST, Spring AI, okay, Spring Batch, Spring CLI, Spring AMQP, Spring FLO, Spring Kafka, Spring LDAP, Spring Apache, Spring Shell, Spring Webflow, Spring Web Service. These all are modules of the Spring. So these all are the modules of the Spring. That is what I told you. 20 plus modules available in the Spring framework. But in the initial version of the Spring, the first version of the Spring, only 7 modules available. What is the current version of the Spring? 6.x version. The current version of the Spring is 6.x version. Why use Spring? Spring is everywhere. Spring is flexible. Spring is productive. Spring is fast. Spring is secure. Spring is supportive. What Spring can do? You can develop microservices. You can develop React applications. You can do the cloud computing. You can build web applications. You can implement serverless applications, event-driven applications. Batch. What is the meaning of batch? Automating the task, offline processing of data at a time to suit you. Whatever the requirement you have, that you can build by using our Spring framework. Are you clear? Yes. Currently, Spring is under license of which company? VMware. Earlier, it was developed by a company called Interface 21. Later point of time, they sold this project to VMware company. Currently, Spring is under license of the VMware company. The company name is VMware. It is free of cost. We can download and we can use this in our project. Now, let me show you the Spring Framework versions history. Spring Framework version history. What are the versions available? Free only. Free. Yeah. So who is the developers? Who it is belongs to which company now? American cloud computing company, which is VMware. Spring project, Spring framework is under license of the VMware company. When the first stable release came into market, recent version 6.14. When the initial version of the Spring came, when the first version of the Spring came, 21 years ago. From that time onwards, Spring framework is available in the market. Version history you can see. 2000 first production release came into market in the year of 2004. Spring from 21 years, 22 years, the framework is available. First they came into market with the production release, nothing but people can use first version of the Spring from 2004 onwards, which is 1.0. Then 2.0 came in the 2006, 3.0 came in the 2009, then 4.0 2013, 5.0 2017. Now currently 6 point version is running in the market. The last version of the Spring 6.1 last year November 16 they released. The next version of the Spring this year November 2024 6.2 will come into market. So we can say the current version of the Spring 6.x version. Are you able to follow me? Now scroll down. Who is the author of the Spring framework? Who is the author of the Spring framework? For Java, we have James Gosling. For the Spring framework, Rod Johnson is available. So the author of the Spring framework is Rod Johnson, which came into market. First version of the Spring came into market in the 2004. And the current version of the Spring is a 6.x version. The Spring version developed by, the Spring framework developed by Rod Johnson. Developed by Rod Johnson. Spring framework includes several modules. It includes several modules. What is this? IOC, inversion of control, core container in the Spring framework. What is the purpose of this? Configuring and managing the Java objects by using reflection API. By using reflection API. What is this one? Dependency injection. What is this one? These are fundamental concepts of the Spring. IOC container, dependency injection, auto wiring, fundamental concepts of the Spring framework. What is this? Just now we discussed about AOP. AOP stands for Aspect Oriented Programming. What is this one? Cross-cutting. What is the meaning of cross-cutting? Common logics. Boilerplate code. Boilerplate code will be available. Okay. Spring AOP. Data Access Framework is available in the Spring framework. Transaction management available. MVC controllers are available. MVC is available in the Spring framework. Spring MVC, yes sir. It is properly implemented here. Here you can handle that properly. Yes. Now can you see what is this? Can you read this one? Spring Boot is a separate framework or it is extension for the Spring framework? Whatever the Spring framework is available, for the Spring extension is the Spring Boot. That means we can develop our projects very easily by using our Spring Boot. Okay. So can I say Spring Boot is replacing the Spring framework? No. Spring Boot not replacing the Spring. Then what is Spring Boot? Extension of the Spring framework. Spring Boot is extension for the Spring framework. I hope you got the clarity. What is Spring? Why Spring? Loosely coupled. It is developed in modular fashion. Spring is under license. Spring first version released in 2004, which is 1.x. The current version of the Spring is 6.x. The current version of Spring is 6.x version. Okay. Spring framework is under license of which company? Spring framework under license of VMware American-based company. They are managing the Spring framework. Any changes required for the Spring, any modules should be added to the Spring will be taken care by VMware company. Okay. Spring is developed in modular fashion. So below are the modules available. Below modules available in the Spring framework. Core module, context module, DAO, ORM, AOP, WebMVC, REST, security, cloud, batch, and scheduler. So can you tell me, what are the modules available in the Spring? Come on. Core, context, DAO, ORM, WebMVC, REST, security, cloud, batch, AOP, scheduler. Like that, there are 20 plus modules available in the Spring framework. What is the purpose of Spring Cloud module? It provides the support for microservices development. It will provide the support for microservices development. What is the purpose of Spring WebMVC module? To develop the web applications. What is the purpose of Spring Context module? Configurations. It is used to take care of the configurations. What is the purpose of batch module? To perform the batch operations. To perform the batch operations, we are going to use this batch module. What is the purpose of Spring Scheduler? To schedule the task. To automate this task, we are going to use this Spring Scheduler. What is the purpose of Spring Core module? Spring Core module is a base module that is providing fundamentals of the framework. What are the fundamentals of the framework? IOC container, dependency injection, auto wiring is available. What is IOC? What is dependency injection? We will talk in the coming classes. From tomorrow, we are going to develop our projects by using Spring framework. Are you clear? Any questions? Able to follow me? Very good. Fine, guys. So with this, we completed the introduction part for Spring framework. What is the Spring? Why Spring? What modules available? What is the purpose of the each module? Now, by using these modules, we need to develop our applications. First, we are going to learn Spring Core module. Then we will learn Spring Boot. All the modules we are going to use along with the Spring Boot in the future classes. Okay, good. Fine. With this, I'm stopping for today and we'll meet in the tomorrow session. So how many classes completed? 5 classes completed. Okay. So the people who are interested to continue, they can join for this course by completing the enrollment process before tomorrow. And the people who are from Ashok IT Java full stack, Spring Boot is available for them as part of the full stack. Talk to admin team. They will give the access for you this course. They will give you ID card. They will give you portal access where you can download the class notes and you can access the backup videos also. Anybody who is not from the Ashok IT Java full stack, they have to enroll for this Spring Boot microservices training. This training fees is 8,000 rupees for live classes for notes. If you want backup videos also, 1 year access for the videos, 10,000 rupees is the fees for that. Okay, today is the last date for enrollment. From tomorrow, the new Zoom link will be available for online people to attend the classes. Offline people also tomorrow, they will check the ID card, complete your enrollment, take the ID card to attend the classes from tomorrow. Okay, good. Thank you guys. I'm going to upload these notes in the website. You guys can access the notes from the website.